Back to you, Amy.
Thank you so much for introducing yourselves to each other. That's one of the number one things that we do with thank you though, with when we're in a group that includes people who are blind and visually impaired, is that we want to introduce each other. We can't just assume people know who's in the room. So it really takes it just takes a few minutes to make sure people know who's there. And it's like, oh, I didn't know you were here. I just introduced two people yesterday. And I'm like, you never met each other, but we're always, oh, like you just didn't get a chance to connect with each other because you couldn't see together. Thank you. So thank you all for meeting with us today in different time zones and different part of the Pacific Rim. I'm so excited to have you all here. I am a teacher for the blind and the visually impaired, like Ross said, in Honolulu. I started out in Louisville, Kentucky. So many of us get our materials from American Printing House for the Blind. And I used to live right down the street from there. So I was going, oh, how come that person has a cane? Oh, how come that person has a dog? So I didn't even realize I would be in this field, but here I am 27 years later, and I just love it. I've worked with my youngest student was 6 months old as I worked as a contractor with the 0 to 3 program. And that was, well, that's when the families really want your information. They want to know what's going to happen with their child. So that's when I really want to connect people with adults who are blind so they know it's going to be okay. You just might do things a little differently. And then my oldest client was 89 years old, and we were learning how to use the cane, and he did really well. And then a lot of people in between. So I feel like I've got a lot of experience to share with you today. The number one thing that we want to talk about today are our vision simulation and knowing eye conditions. And that can sound very sciencey. It can be very, intimidating, all those big words. You go to the eye doctor to learn about an eye condition, and it's these words you can't pronounce. They're like all the letters of the alphabet are in the terminology. So it's really important to learn the eye information, but also to make it relatable. And one of the best things you can do is to try to learn more about how to simulate to make some vision simulators, to use different types of simulation, to share different types of simulation strategies. So number one, we need to know about the parts of the eye. And you've already taken classes in that, just talk to Almighty Google. Hey, Almighty Google, tell me about the eye. You're going to learn all kinds of terms about the eye. There's the main thing. If we look at our eyes, there's four main parts. There's the white part, sclera. We can just say the white part of your eye kind of holds the eyeball together. There's the color part of the eye that could be the iris. It could be blue, green, brown. It just allows light to enter your eye. So when it's real bright, it gets real big. It closes up a little bit. And then when it's kind of dark, it opens up real big to let more light in. And then the pupil is just a black dot. It's just a hole in your eye, and it allows the light to come in. So we do a lot of fun activities to make, maybe around Halloween time, you make edible eyeballs. So to learn the parts of the eye, you could have a marshmallow with chocolate frosting for the iris and a raisin for the pupil. The optic nerve lets the eye talk to the brain. So you can use those red Twizzlers. If you can eat an eyeball, you're going to remember that. So if you can learn those different parts, that'd be good. You can make different models. You can make paper mache. You can do more like technology ones with a PowerPoint, art activities. So have fun with learning the parts of the eye and use the real words. They're big, they're not scary words, but they're the words that the student and the family need to, and the teachers and the staff need to know what they're called. And so we might as well use the correct, terms for those. Have any of you done any activities like that? Like just for learning about the parts of the eye? You can just raise your hand and put your hand down. Okay.
Me.
Okay, good. Yeah. So now I gave you some ideas. So you can use a piece of bread and just cut it into a circle. That could be the front of the eye too, and then you could smear things on that. It could be a pancake. Whoa, I shouldn't talk. I'm getting hungry. It's really important to do the front part So it could be the front view of the eye, and that makes it real easy. You can even put fun little like eyelashes and curl them, make them nice and long. And also the side view. So that way you can see the back of the eye that has the retina. And that's the part of the eye that can really be impacted in so many ways. And so, and then the parts in between the front of the eye to the back of the eye. So really, there's not only like maybe I'd say 8 parts that you would have to make sure that you label and get to know, and do it every year in a different way. You know, do 1 year, do a poster, 1 year, make a 3D model, 1 year, do something else. The kids have good ideas. So give them some materials, yeah, some clay, some Play-Doh, all kinds of materials you have already, and just say, hey, let's make some eyeballs today, and that will be fun. So so if you are using Play-Doh or clay, you can use toothpicks with little labels in it, and just keep it in the classroom, or if you're doing a family event, take it home. But it's really important for that to happen, because you want to educate your teams about the parts of the eye. Because when we talk about how the eye is impacted, you kind of need to know the structure of it. Now, also, Roz, I can share my screen, right? Okay, so let me get to the right part here. There we go. So you can do a Google search for over here. You can do a Google search for I do a stop share just so I can find what I'm trying to share. You can do a Google search for vision simulators and come up with all kinds of different type of simulators. So let me try this again. There it is. Wrong one. Okay. Okay. So I did this one. I'll have this to share with you a little bit later. But one of the things that I found was this fork in the road vision rehabilitation services. And that was one of the sites that I went to look to see, how can I explain a vision simulation? We can talk about, I can see out of one eye or the other. We can use our hands. We have commercial goggles you can buy, we've had those in our classes where you can put the goggles on, and out of one lens, you can see 2200, 2400, 2600, and things like that. But sometimes those are hard to use. Sometimes, the girls don't want to mess up their hair. If you have glasses already, you might want to keep your glasses on. So it's kind of nice to use some pictures from time to time. So this site, and I'll send you all of these links too. And like I say, you can just do your own search too. But what I'm showing you now has the regular picture of flowers on a table with a duck statue and a fish. Oh, it's our fish statue. And then this is how it looks like if you have 20/80 vision. It's more of an acuity. This one is a little bit more blurry, 2200, so that's legal blindness. This one 2400, and this one 2800. So it shows you how it can get, you can see something there, but you just can't see it clearly. A second site that I went to is kind of cool. It's myeyedoctor.com. And this one shows more if you need glasses. So this picture has a highway picture, and then it shows if you're nearsighted. So there's a slider bar, and you have normal vision, and you slide it to your nearsighted vision. So if you're nearsighted, you have trouble seeing far away, so everything gets blurred. So you might not be on the highway, and hopefully not driving too much if you can't see some of that. For farsightedness, same thing. It starts with normal vision, and you slide it over, and you can see the things in the background. You can see the far things, but you have trouble seeing up close. Presbyopia, I did look that up going, what's that? It's age related. So when I was 40, I went on a great trip with my husband to Phoenix, and we went to Tonto National Forest, and I got the map out and I couldn't see. I was like, I can't see these details. So as soon as I turned 40, boom, that happened. Your lens in your eye, it squeezes your whole life. When you look close, it squeezes hard to see. And when you look in a distance, it relaxes. It squeezes up close. When you look away, it relaxes. But after a certain age, that muscle goes, I can't do it anymore. And then people have to start holding things a little further and further and wearing some reading glasses. So that's what happened to me right on that day when I went on my trip. So I just got some eyeglasses and that wasn't a problem. But that one shows for your normal vision to, if you have a little trouble seeing up close. Color blindness, this is regular color. It shows an apple. And then as you slide it, the color kind of fades. You can kind of tell it's slightly red, and then you can't tell the color at all. Okay, and this one is cataracts. Starts with normal vision, a girl with little bubbles. Who doesn't like bubbles? And as it slides, it gets more and more blurry. You can tell that person is there. You can see the eyes, the nose, the face. You just can't see the details. Okay, and then the next one's glaucoma. That one, you're on a golf course, looks like. Normal vision. With glaucoma, you slide it, and that peripheral vision starts to fade a little bit. And it can also have black or blur spots in the center as well. And then astigmatism, very common. Everyone who wears glasses almost has astigmatism. Astigmatism. If you touch the cornea, which you shouldn't, but if you did, it's just like a dent in your cornea. It makes the light that enters your eye go all over the place. So as you slide it to the right, it's same thing. It gets just a little unclear. And then the third one I want to share with you today is Versa Health. And this one starts with healthy sight. Oh, it must have some sound on it, sounds like. So if I choose glaucoma, again, the peripheral vision kind of goes away. And this one, you can actually move it around. Let's see how you can still see, you just can't see the peripheral vision as much. If you switch to cataracts, same thing. It's just unclear, but you can tell the people are there. Diabetic retinopathy, you start to have blind spots, so you can see things, you just have to tilt your head a lot. Glare, sometimes if the sun is out, it just kind of washes out things and makes it harder to see, and it goes back to healthy sight. Let me close that one. So I'm gonna stop sharing my screen, but that's just, if you just do some random vision simulators, that might give you some ideas. You might have some pictures of a classroom. Just take some pictures with your camera, put it on your computer and or you can print it out and put some blotches on it or put a film over it. That way you can say, here's what our classroom looks like, and here is what it looks like if you have this certain eye condition. So that gives you, a little bit idea of how to do your research on the vision simulations. Do you have any questions on that before I keep going? Hearing none, I'm going to keep going. Okay, so I do want to share with you before we do our unveiling of our boxes. I just went into a classroom the other day. I've been working 27 years in Kentucky, where I'm from, Hawaii, and here in Honolulu. And I still use the same strategies, and they always work. I did a vision simulation thing that I'm going to show in a minute for a student who could see only out of the left side of each eye. No, he could only see out of the left eye, has no vision in the right eye. The left eye, he had a stroke, so he can't see from the center to the left. So from his nose to the middle of his eye, that's how much he can see. So I could explain that all day long, but I made something that I'll show you in just a minute that allowed the teacher, the speech therapist, the other kids in the classroom, they were like, oh, I get it. Oh, I'm trying to hold things and I'm holding things far apart, but I need to make them closer now because he only has this little window of vision. And that made a great impact on them. I could have talked to them all day, and I'm sure I have. We've had IEP meetings with blah, blah, blah. Hear my words, hear my words. But by showing them something, they got it. So please, take the time to make little things, and it really makes a big difference. So now that we got that part out of the way with my drum roll, does anyone have their box that was mailed to them? All right. Can you open them up if you haven't already? Can you start to, oh, y'all wrapped them and everything. It's
No,
Christmas.
they actually carried them back with them when they went last time. Carrie, did you bring yours?
And if you didn't, we'll be able to, you'll be, okay,
Yay,
great.
open.
So we're gonna open these and see what's inside. I'll do my joke at the end.
Sorry, I got mine, but I have to head back to the office right now to get it.
Oh, that's okay. I mean, you can just
I'm
talk.
still driving. I'm still on the road.
Don't crash, don't crash. Don't worry.
I know. So I'll get to it when I get to the office.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
okay.
absolutely. Now these, we did a lot of research on what was available, and we came up with a nice little kit for you to get going with your vision simulation. And we have, oh my goodness, tape. Can you believe it? You have tape. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. I love tape. Adhesives are my life. I know more about adhesives than anyone in this building. Okay, don't throw away the bubble wrap. We might use it. You'll never throw away your packaging again. Okay, someone opened up, she held up something like this. This is Scotch restickable mounting squares. I spent 10 years before I found these, and I'll never be without them ever again. I went by Long's just the other day to get more. And ta-da, your glasses. I see glasses. Natasha's opening up hers.
Very nice, Lizelle. You're gonna set a new style in the Pacific.
You're driving, don't change your glasses. So basically, what you're opening up, now I was going to see now who got the $10,000 in their box. Is there a $10,000 box? Ah, I think that one's still in the mail, got lost. Those free matter, they take a while. But thank you so much to CSC and the Deafblind Project.
It was in my box. I just can't find my box.
I'll help you look for it, don't worry. So in this box are all the tools that you need to make your very own vision simulators. Years ago, I would use the goggles, which are great. They're wonderful. However, I wanted to do more than just those. So I started using these safety glasses, and I would go to a local place here that had them for about, I don't know, $2 to $3 per glass. At Sam's Club, I found a pack of 6 for maybe $20. Ross, oh my gosh, she found this great box for maybe $30 to $35 on Amazon that had like, yeah, that had like 25, I think 24 to 28 pairs of these. At schools, I do so many vision simulation activities for the kids for the peers, because they're growing up with our students. So they need to learn what their peer who is visually impaired is going through and how to assist them, but also to know that they can do things even if they can only see a little bit. So everyone has this wonderful kit that was provided, and we're going to talk about how to make our vision simulators right now. I'm not sure if you put labels on inside of the box, Roz. Okay, we're just gonna make our own. So basically you have, I don't know, anywhere from 4 to 7 pairs of glasses in your box. They're really durable. Well, for most kids. But these are your base. So with these, you can make any kind of vision simulation that you want. And that's what we're going to go over today. So this is the base. I want to show you another base. Some people don't want, like I said, mess up their hair. They already wear glasses. They don't want to put things on. So you can also just use a piece of paper and have them hold that up too. I got a pencil case at CSChawaii here. It's just a plastic, almost like a Ziploc. But when I put it on, I can see some light here, but I can't really see the screen. I can see some things around the house. I can't read any print. So this also works. I will tell you, especially if, we get shipped things all the time. I got a cane the other day and I went, wow, this is great. This is another thing I can attach to glasses. It's just some plastic tubing. So if you get things from Amazon or, from like some of the packaging that you get, like put your eyes up to it and go, you know what, I'm going to keep this. This will be perfect. So with this packaging, I want to put it part of it on the glasses. So I'm going to show you a few different kinds of eye conditions that you can simulate with this, but also read your students' eye reports, like I did with my student just the other day. He could not see at all out of the right eye and only just one part here. So I have one. So we need to attach things to the glasses. That's what we're going to call adhesives. So you have some tape in your box, but it's not just regular tape. It's magic tape. So what's magic tape? It's not clear. When we wrap our presents at Christmas and things like that, we have Scotch tape and it's just satin finish, which is clear. So that's going to attach things to it, but it's going to look clear. So that won't help us out as much. But I noticed magic tape is kind of frosted. So any kind of Scotch tape, or, this tape dispenser tape that's frosted, that's hard to see through, that's the one you want. So if you take out a little bit of that and you put that in the center of your glasses, now you have a blur spot. I can still see everyone. I just have to tilt my head up and down a little bit. If I put one on the left side too, now I have macular degeneration. I don't have central vision. It's cloudy. It's not just black. It might be black, but it's usually when I talk to people who are blind or have, macular degeneration, they're like, I see someone, they disappear, they come back. So it's just that central vision. I can still see, but I just can't see clearly in the center. And with central vision, that's our fine details. It will be harder to read and write. So that's when we might do some magnification things. I really want to make sure when we use these vision simulators that we do one major thing. We keep it positive. It's already heavy duty when people are losing their vision or have already lost their vision, but we want to do a can do. So what thing I want to can do is have large print and regular print and put your glasses on and say, wow, if you had regular print, it's a little hard to see, but what if we magnified it? See, you can still read it. You just have to make it bigger. We have regular print, we can't see it. We have a picture we can't see. How about we use a CCTV, a video magnifier, a handheld magnifier? Now, can you see it? Yeah, you can still see it. So try to make sure your activities are like that, because that's what we want to promote all the time with our students. We don't want to say, oh, you poor thing, can't see, go sit in the corner. You got to say, oh, you got to live your life. And one of my students, such an inspiration. At 16, he's talking to his peers who are younger, and he goes, oh, some of the, when I meet someone that they'll say, oh, you poor thing, and he goes, well, I'm not a poor thing. I have a lot of fun. He even says that he could see until he was 4th grade. He's in his 20s now. I met him when he was 3. But he says that, losing his vision changed his life for the better because he had so much more opportunities as a blind person than a sighted person. It's because I was his teacher, but nah. But that is a great message to remember. So with your glasses, we can do some now. I'll show you. Oh, so adhesives. I showed you tape. That's tape just to cover. But we want double sticky tape. In a pinch, you can do your usual, get some tape, make a circle, and then attach anything you want on top of that, like that a packing slip that I had right there. So now it's attached to the glasses. But if you have the mounting tape, it's restickable. So you can use this again and again, and they're already pre-cut into little squares You take off, so it's two-sided. Put it on a fresh pair of glasses, which I did here. And then now I can put, ooh, I got this. This is, I don't know, I never heard of this. It's stencil paper. It could be a heavy duty vellum, but it's not wax paper. Wax paper would not stick because it's waxy. I was really bummed. I thought it would stick, but wax paper did not stick. So this is something that I can't see through. I think it's important sometimes not to put just black because people can usually see light. So I think it's good to have light perception. It's not as scary too if they're trying things out. So now if I put this, I don't even have to cut it. What I usually will do, stick, is I'll just cut out the nose part on the glasses. But I don't have to cut like every single detail so it'll fit exactly on the glasses. I just want it to rest on my face. Okay, so now I have the safety glass, like in seconds, I have that double-sided mounting tape, this cool stencil paper, but it could be really anything that you can, I can't see through it, but I can tell the light, like my window is in front of me, the light is here, the light's on in the kitchen there. I can see the light sources, and that helps a lot. I can see movement. When my hand's moving, I can tell something's in front of me. I see a little shadow here. So I'm getting good information, even though I can't see any clear images. And so that again could be a fun game. Can you stack something, or can you grab something that's moving, back and forth? You can do it. So that's one of those can do things. When I'm done with this, I just pull off what I had. I had my little sticky pieces, and now I'm back to my clear glasses. They're ready to go for some other eye condition. With my student the other day, like I said, I put on those double stickies. I had that same paper. I just cut 2 squares in a hurry. We're always in a hurry. I covered up one entire eye because he cannot see at all out of the right eye, but he could see out of the inner part of his left eye. So now within seconds, I can say, hey, if we're at an IEP meeting and I have a lot of staff there, I'll have a few of these or just one that we share. When I put these on, people can go, oh, wow, okay. He can see a lot through here. He just has to move his head a lot. And if I have to arrange things, I don't want him to move his head as much, then maybe I should stack it top and bottom instead of side to side. This really just solves a lot of problems to explain the vision of the student. It's not 100% accurate. It's a ballpark, and it gives the good ideal for that. Blue tape is another adhesive I use because it's a painter's tape. So I just call it blue tape because it's blue. And I use this for, oh my gosh, so many things. Same thing, you can cover up. And it's cheap, it's maybe $4, and a roll will last you a long time. But I can put this also on part of the lens, put it on my eyes here, and same thing. It's something I can do really fast. I don't have to spend hours on it. The things I wanted to show you today were things that you can do very quickly. Since we do share these, and I did want to show you, I was at Daiso the other day, and they had this called crocodile grip tape, which is just like the mounting tape, but it's on a roll. So you cut it, and you can put those little double-sided tape on your glasses to put things that will cover the vision. Multi-purpose and removable. So I do like to see if it's restickable and removable so I can use it again and again. Okay. I will also say if you're sharing the glasses, it's good to have some alcohol wipes just to clean off the glasses real fast. This was maybe, I think, $6 to $8 at Walmart, and there's 250 of these. So if I'm doing an awareness lesson for a classroom, which maybe has 30 kids in it, and also some staff that I want to invite to it, then we can we can have one center with the glasses, one center is, trying to use the cane. Well, one center could be about braille or magnifiers. So if they're using simulation glasses, then we can just tear these off and clean the glasses real quick and it's ready to go. So that's why these safety glasses are so easy and so nice. I wouldn't you can use maybe old sunglasses. I wouldn't use prescription glasses ever because it might hurt someone's eyes. I mean, it just might give you a headache. It won't like damage it. And then since we're using tapes, since we're cutting things a lot with tape, and it can stick to your scissors, Goo Gone is a really good product. Maybe baby oil too, to clean the sticky part off of the scissors, because after a while it just will stick. You can't cut with them. I try to spend some good quality time, I try to spend a little bit of money on some good quality scissors. So sometimes I'll get the small kind, like the Fiskars, or if you go to a craft store, those Cricut machines, they come with sometimes these really good high quality scissors that are maybe $20 instead of like $2. So spend some time on some good products like that. So who wants to make some glasses? You want to get one pair out right now? And let's get sticky. I would try to use the mounting squares because they're already pre-cut, and or the blue tape because it's real easy to take on and off. The magic tape is great. You just have to really pull it off. I would say we're going to send you a handout after that has all of this information I'm sharing with you about safety glasses. Make sure they're easy to clean, they're durable, they're plastic. Use alcohol wipes, adhesives, I have that. Items to attach, it's endless. Just go through your pantry, sandwich bags, attach those. I don't even cut them. I just attach it right onto the glasses and the zipper can stay right on there. Anything you put your eyes up to, you can see, you'll be able to see things around you, but then look at some print. I did a print out of different print sizes. So see how far down you can go on the list or how far up. If you have large print, you can read that, great. See if you have a book that has some pictures with big words, like some of our children's books, and see if you can see the details. Like where's the B? Can you find that with one pair of glasses or another? These are from Best Press. They have great books. Or just some random mail that you might have, just have, or there's so many different classroom print materials. Just get something there and see what you can see or not see with the simulation glasses. The ones I made here are retinitis pigmentosa, also familiar with Usher syndrome. So I put magic tape over all of the lenses and I just scratched out a little hole in the center. So with this, I can see, again, it's not all black, it's not all dark. I have light perception, I can see light, but I really have to tilt my head to see the people on the screen. And to read the names, you don't want to be too close. You really have to pull it back to see more letters. If you have it too close, you can only see one or two letters with the tunnel vision here. And that's RP or retinitis pigmentosa. I will say also with your things that you're covering up, use paper stuff. Don't use, or tape, like with the tape here, don't use glue and don't use glue sticks because we live in the tropics. And so it can get kind of melty and gross. Sometimes like little buggies will get stuck in there and I don't want to put that up by my eyes. We don't ever want to put anything on the inside of the glasses. We want to protect our eyes, especially if we're talking about eye conditions. So make sure you only put things on the outside facing away from you. And then you can put tags for different eye conditions. You have a starter kit right now, but if you want to keep changing them, then just keep changing them. After one like simulation activity, You might take them all off, clean them off and start fresh, or you might keep them the way they are and use those again and again. It just depends, you know, you might have a lot of different eye conditions, or you might just want to show 2 or 3. Okay, so let's go ahead and start making anything that you want. Let's see, light perception would be something that's really thick that you really you can't see any clear images, just where the light is. If that's something that's in your containers or in your home, you can put that on. Okay, so we have Natasha, she has hers on. Okay, so what'd you put on your glasses, Natasha?
I put the magic tape and I made little holes or
Okay.
ushers.
Okay, so you have the retinitis pigmentosa, and that's very popular with the Usher's. That's the a visual part of the Usher syndrome. So can you still see things around your home or your school?
Yes, I have to move my head where the pinhole is, where the hole is.
Right, and that pinhole can be much bigger because it's progressive. So maybe you don't have to start as tiny. You know, it
Okay.
could be a little bit bigger than that. But that was great. You can keep one, and it could be only one eye, not both eyes, but it's good to do both just to try that out. I have Lizelle up there, and you have a bag. Yeah, so don't ever throw away your bubble tape because you can use that now to attach to your glasses. So macular degeneration is, and Stargardt's. Stargardt's is early age macular degeneration. Kids can also get macular degeneration, but it's called Stargardt's. It usually starts around 6th or 7th grade when it becomes more prevalent. RP around the same time for some students, and it's usually the night blindness. At nighttime, they go, wow, how come I can't see at night? It's usually a lot of kids will sign up for sports and then they'll go to the doctor and like get these details. So it's really like some people don't know what's going on and they don't talk about it. And so they're not aware that they do have a significant eye condition that can get even, it can progress over time. Let's see here. The other one here is, for cataracts, I would say any kind of packaging that makes it unclear. Okay, because usually if a cataract can be removed, it will improve your vision, but usually the doctors will let it go as long as they can and really get dense and thick before they'll remove it.
Amy, this is
Mm.
Melanie speaking.
Yes.
A lot of the islands, well, not a lot of them, but there's a significant number of islands that have vitamin A deficiency, and then one of the number one is like Stargardt's or night vision is the first thing that affects. Which is the glass the glass adaptation that would resemble that?
For Stargardt's, it would be the central vision loss. So you would put any kind of thick, dense, unclear thing in the center of the eye. And
Okay.
I would also say it doesn't have to be a circle. Say toxoplasmosis too, that's a big one. It doesn't have to be a circle. Sometimes like I'll use a piece of paper. My scissors, like Christmas. My scissors. So I'll just make a quick rectangle because I have my tape is there already, my double-sided. And I'll just put that right in the center. And it can even trying to put it where you can see it a little better. Yeah. So the glasses end where my finger is right here, but it can go down even more and up even more. So it doesn't have to be like really form-fitting. Just put it right there. It's blocking the center part, but it's usually both eyes, not just one eye. So I would do that twice. And same thing if a student has, I'll even do this sideways. So now a lot of times we'll tell the teachers that, oh, the student can't see out of their left eye. Their better vision's in the right eye. So please seat them to favor that better eye so that they're not always having to turn their head so much. So if the teacher's doing circle time and the teacher's on my left, and the student always has to look at the teacher, they have to turn their head a lot. But if the teacher's on the right side, oh, now I can see the teacher in the classroom much better. I can see all the other kids in the circle. So having this in the classroom is really helpful just as a reminder of that. So that way the teacher can go, now where should I have him sit? And then they have the glasses there already. So a lot of times I'll leave a pair of glasses in the classroom for different service providers. I'll send a pair home, you know, if we have an activity, that way everyone can have a chance to view them. So it can be a single activity, it's a one and done. It could be an awareness lesson where we're building awareness and we're rotating in centers, or it could be a tool that stays in the classroom so anybody new who comes in who needs to be trained can get a feel for what it feels like to look through this. I would say also photo albums are good. You know how we have just a regular photo album and you put your pictures in here? Oh, but if you go like this, now that's again a piece of plastic. You got tons of plastic here for that. Cardstock, just regular paper. For ROP is retinopathy of prematurity. When our students, when the children are born premature, they're given lots of oxygen, and usually one eye for sure is what I see the trend the most, that they lose almost all vision out of one eye, but they can see out of the other eye. But that one, I would use, here. I just have a piece of paper. Getting material fatigue here. Where's my paper? There it is. I'll just use this one. So if I have a piece of paper, I would really need to cut just little jagged little pieces so I can see through part of it, and I could attach that part to the glasses right here. That would replicate a retinal detachment, because it's just, I mean, it's just like somebody scratched the back of your eyeball and it's just really scattered. But again, you don't have to attach it to the glasses. You can have a fan. You know how we just have a hand fan? You can do cutouts on a hand fan. You can just have pieces of paper that people hold up and look through. So the glasses to me are great, but you can also have, like I said, the pencil case that you can see through. It's mainly this, it's just blurred. It's blurred, and you need to make things bigger to see more clearly. That's probably the number one thing, no matter what the eye condition is. But you can read the student's eye report and get to know more about their eye condition and know, does it impact both of their eyes or just one, and then build your glasses around that. Who else put some glasses together there? Lizelle, did you put the bubble tape on your glasses? Oh, you got the blue tape? I see it. Nice. Perfect. So you can still see around the room. You can see your screen probably, but you can't read the print. And that's when you might have to do a tactile activity for matching things that feel the same. But I would do a variety of things where it's just a little bit of light, a little bit of vision that's lost. And that could be just your magic tape with just a blur spot in the center. The other day I didn't have my magic tape, I just had the clear tape. And what I did was I just made little folds in it. So it looks like a little accordion almost with tape. And I put that on the glasses. And then that was my little blur spot. You know, just that clear tape with in the center of the eye. Because the student had pretty, it would be like maybe a 2100 if I had those goggles. That just fold the clear tape, and then attach it in the center of the glasses. It's just kind of like sticks up a little bit. I need to get a document camera. There we go. It sticks up a little bit from the glasses. And then when I put them on, same thing. I can see you all, but it's just got a little bit of a blur spot in the center part. I can still read. Get my print sizes here. I can read 36 font with no problem, from about 4 to 6 inches away. 24 font, I can see that. 20, I can see the number, but not so much the words. So it really gives you a good idea of what is super clear and what is not. And I say there's so many eye conditions, however, with the same ones again and again that I see as a teacher and also as a contractor working with adults. And that's what will be on your handout is light perception. You can't see any print or images. You just know where the light sources are. And that's very helpful. If I want to get out of the room and go to the door, that's going to help me get there. If I want to know where someone is and they say, oh, she's over by the light stand or the window or the door, then I can see that to move there. RP is going to be that tunnel vision. You don't have to make a pinhole too tight. You can make it a little bit bigger. You can do a progression. You can have 3 pairs of glasses all about RP. One's a little bit bigger as a person is younger. As they get a little older, it might be smaller. And then a little older, it might be even smaller. There's not an age for that. Sometimes it goes fast. And sometimes I've known people in their 60s, they're just starting to lose more vision. So it really changes. Cataracts, that's just when almost everything's unclear. Macular degeneration or Stargardt's, the center part of your eye. RP is that's just that scattered kind of vision. You have a little bit of clarity. It's just really all over the place. And then just looking at your students' specific eye conditions too. Left eye, if someone's had a stroke, it's usually the left part of each eye or the right part of each eye. And then when you cover that up, you know, some people forget that they have a right side. If they can't see out of that side, they're constantly bumping things on their right side. You know, that's why there's like, okay, well, maybe we should use a cane because we need to feel in front of us because we don't want to keep losing our body. Let me see. I think there was a chat thing. Okay. So which vision does this simulate? Are there any questions on what your homework is? For anyone who didn't get the $10,000 and won't have a great shopping spree, is there any, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. You have some great tools now. Even if you don't know an eye condition at all, just have fun putting a little tape here, a little packing materials, like, you know, I guarantee you, you're going to go around your house going, okay, I'm going to tape a Q-tip here. That's going to block something. You get a million things around the house. You don't have to spend hardly any money. Because we're teachers, we have forever access to tape and paper clips. So you can use all kinds of variety of things around your home. And please share those. Take a picture and send it to each other. Say, hey, look what I did. You know, we're always learning from each other. After 27 years, like I said, I still go, oh, where has this stencil paper been all my life? I've never heard of stencil paper, but it is great. It's stiff. It doesn't tear. It's strong. It only comes in 2 pages at Daiso for like $1 or something, but I'm going to use this a lot. And it's easy to clean. You don't want things too sticky. Guys or gals, we got our hair, so you don't want too much tape coming off because our hair can get stuck in that and it's not going to be a pleasant experience. So just make sure you get some clean lines there. Oh my God, and it's 5 o'clock now. I guess we're almost to the end of our
I have a
training.
question, a really quick
Yes.
question.
Take your time.
How would you simulate lava-like vision? I have a client that experiences that,
Can you say that again?
Yes.
What kind of vision?
like a lava-like vision. Like there's
Oh.
Their vision, it's like within their vision, there's like a lava lamp happening in their vision. How would you, what would you suggest we could use to simulate that?
You can put some ribbon there and attach the top and the bottom of the ribbon, because that's gonna have some movement. Because if you think of a lava light or a lava lamp, it's just moving, it's not clear. Even like when we have floaters. So something like that, a string, just tape something at the top and bottom and make sure it's real loose in the middle, and it'll float around a little bit. You can do different colors, you can do wide ribbon, narrow ribbon. You can put, our plastic baggies here. You can put something inside of there and attach it. That way it's gonna be moving around, not oil or anything like that, kind of liquidy, because you don't want it to bust and get all over, but
Water
And you-
bead.
Yeah,
Like
or
some-
clear hair gel's pretty good too. And then you can
Okay.
either color it or put, yeah, like water beads in it, so it would
Yeah.
float in the clear hair gel.
Yes, yeah, and even these little containers, like we all get things from American Printing House for the Blind. I always save those, here they are. I mean, like packaging, I always say packaging. So these are the, I don't know, we get these all the time when we get something from American Printing House for the Blind. And it's not clear, so it's already got that part. But like she was saying, if you put water bead in there, if there's an envelope, instead of being this big, like one of those real small kind, and you put something inside, and then with the mounting squares, you can attach that to it. And you go, I mean, that would be, I'm gonna do that as soon as we're done. And we'll go look around the house.
Thanks for the
and-
suggestions,
Yeah.
everybody.
Hard candy, I mean, just something that would stick in there. Yeah, maybe not. Or maybe Play-Doh. If a little Play-Doh, it's not gonna move around so much, but just experiment with that. That is great. I never thought of that. But I'm on it. But I do like the idea of a ribbon, because it's not food, it's not liquidy, it's still gonna move around a little bit. Anything with a bead or something like that. As you walk around, that the wind might catch just a little bit, even if you twist it and then put the top and bottom on the glasses. That's
Does
your homework.
does everybody know what floaters are? I'm not sure. Can you explain that? I have them, so I know.
Yeah, my sister does too. So floaters are just so in the structure of our eye, we have the vitreous humor. That's what makes our eye round. So it's just that clear jelly-like substance that makes our eye round. We have and sometimes things will float around in there. And it looks like something's like floating right in front of you. You just want to grab it, and you don't have any control over that. There's really no, might be some medicine, but usually not. But that is something, I don't know, does yours happen, like when you're tired, Melanie, or
Looks like spiders are in my eyeball. That's what I thought it was, a bug.
and you're like, what's there?
And you keep flapping away it because they're very big, and it's just something that happens, so.
Right, that one can happen with no visual impairment at all. It's definitely not age related, because we're young gals.
Yeah, right.
But that's what floaters are.
Yeah, and a lot of people have them and they don't know it too. So thank you for that question, Lizelle, I
Mhm.
mean, about how you could simulate that, because I think a lot of people, I kept flapping away thinking there was a mosquito near me. And I've
So
got
that one so that one you can just tape any kind of yarn or something that's actually more stiff than yarn that would stick up. But as you move, it kind of like a thread, but a stiff thread, that would just be in your way, and you're like, what is that? So that would be a floater.
Can I ask everybody a question? If you made a pair of goggles, can you put them on or put on glasses so we can take a picture?
Yes. Even if it's just blue tape, just stick it right on. That's why I like these. They're so
Or
fast.
you
to
can
take.
just take a pair of glasses and put something over it if you didn't. It's okay. There you go.
So really, you have your glasses, you have your adhesives, you just need scissors and a few things to attach.
Roz, are you able to take the picture? Everybody got something, Hetty?
Well, I have my Wi-Fi is kind of slow, so I cannot turn
okay.
on my camera.
It's okay, it's okay. Natasha,
So
you got,
I'll
it's
send
okay.
my pictures later when
Okay,
the Wi-Fi is stable.
you can send us one. Is everybody ready? Roz, can you take it?
Yep.
Okay.
Ready? Smile or look confused, either one. Okay, let's do another one. Good.
Thank you.
Had to use my real glasses so I could see.
Me too.
I know they do have these glasses that you put over your glasses. These are more of the solar shields for people who have trouble with glare. And so Noir, Noir, sometimes they'll send out a whole kit if you'll call and ask nice.
Is that free, Amy?
For free if you say, oh, I'm a teacher and I'm trying to do this or that. Sometimes they'll send you different types that will have amber, plum, gray. It's just to filter out a bright yellow. But one of the gals in our office, I don't know, she always got all kinds of free stuff. So she would just call and say, you know, oh, I'm a teacher and I really want to get this, and we want to show like the different types of ways to reduce glare. But you almost always have to get these online. There's no local stores or vendors that have these. Even in the whole state of Hawaii, I can't find these. You have to get them all online, especially the kind that go over glasses, because you want to be able to see that they're not prescription. The ones I'm holding now, it's just to filter out the glare.
So Harry just wrote in the comment that might be good for chromatopsia.
Yes. Yes. And like I said, the words sound like scary. It sounds like that spider arachnophobia. But the more that we use the words, you know, we'll go, oh, I know what that is. Oh, I know what that is. So I would have an awareness day. I always don't wait for awareness activities to happen. I encourage them. Sometimes with our staff parties, we had a Christmas party, and I'll do an activity with the simulation glasses, or we might have centers. I'll do a game, you know, we'll do a song called What Is It? And they have things in a bag, like 15 random small things they have to feel, and they have to write down what they feel, like a Q-tip, a paper clip, you know, all these little things around the house. Anything to bring awareness to our students and their families, because it's a small percentage of people who have vision loss, and the general public are clueless about vision loss. I mean, the more you talk to people, I'm in this field so much, I know so much about it, but someone will ask a question, I'll go, how'd you come up with that idea? I never, you know, like, no, that's not right. You know, so we're always trying to demystify, you know, vision loss and explain it clearly, but in a fun and productive and positive way.
Amy, do you have any suggestions for, or if you know of simulations for cortical vision impairment or CVI?
That's a great one. I thought about that too. I would say get the busiest book you can find, or make one with a lot of things and just say, what am I supposed to look at? Because it's, you know, it's just, it doesn't make, if you just show a picture, it's going to be something that we can understand what we're seeing. But if you have something that's slightly, it doesn't have to be blurry even, just like everything's the same size and you don't know what to look at.
I think one of the TVIs that I've worked with for a long time, Marianne, we used Where's Waldo? And then we would take a big, just a circle cut out with black on it and say, okay, now can you find Waldo here, and put it over where Waldo was to kind of, you know, focus vision. And that people like
I
that.
also like having like a picture, like I have a busy background right here. If I had a busy shirt on and something that I say, okay, I want the student to look at this, but there's all this chaos all around me. So I think that's a good picture too. to have. That one is more a video type thing. I think you would have to create. Of just a lot of random things that you're not sure what to focus on. So they could be slightly out of focus too. That's a third of our population that we serve of cortical visual impairment. So I think having more simulation on that would be good. And I do more the eye itself and how it's impacted. But the brain and the eye connection, that would be a good one to simulate. So,
Amy,
yes.
how long can I simulate a person?
So that's a
What's
great
this?
question too. You don't want to have a headache. You don't want it to be a negative experience. Usually when I do a simulation, we'll have an activity that'll be maybe I have 4 centers. So we'll be in that center for 10 to 20 minutes at most, or 10 to 15 minutes. So it is short. Usually I'll have, I might have some magnifiers and some really small prints. And here's one of my favorite ones I do. I'll have the print very small, like 4 fonts, and I'll have 20 things for the kids to do. They don't need any materials. It'll say stand up and sit down 2 times, clap your hands 4 times, snap your fingers 10 times, tap your leg, all these little random movements. And then at the end, it'll say, I'm done, or pow, or something like that. So something that they can put it on, they're using magnifiers to try to read it. They're getting it really close to their eye, trying to read it, but you can kind of tell, when they're doing that. Sometimes I'll have math problems. So they'll have to write the answer because it's only 2 numbers. So you can kind of see that pretty well. They might use a handheld magnifier and try to use the glasses and write their answer. Sometimes I'll have a drawing. I'll have instructions small, and I'll have a picture, and I'll say, draw the stem of the apple brown, draw the color the apple, green, or something like that. So I'll have a few materials and raised line drawings for them to color, like the APH coloring books. But yeah, that's a great question. You don't want to have them under simulation for me. I would say maybe 10 to 15 minutes. It could be as short as 5 minutes. I usually will have them in the center, and they have control of when they can put them on and take them off, because we don't want them to, develop a headache or things like that, or just go, I just want to get these off. But that's why I say have a fun activity, because then they're not thinking about having the glasses on at all. We have sorting things. I love to sort things by color or match things. Put all the circles in the left cup, put all the squares in the right cup, and you just have a big mess of circles and squares. Or coins, pennies, nickels, quarters. We can sort those, but trying to do it with your vision and not, by touch. That's a great question.
Thank you.
That'll be our next workshops. Our center-based activities. We have a lot of those to do. And then handwriting too, just trying to write your name, on a line, and how you would do it with the glasses on. Great questions. Every now and then, like you said, you have a random eye condition that's really hard to simulate, but I would just go with, the things that just make things a little more distorted. And just know when you put things up and look around, if you're testing out some different packages or different types of things that you have, it's one thing to look at objects, it's a whole different thing to look at print. So make sure you have both of those. Is that really, the kids have to deal with print. So you can say, oh, sure, I can see that on the wall. I can see that person over there. Okay, great. Now you have to read this and write your answer. Oh, I can't see that at all. But if I use my magnifier, I can, a video magnifier, or improve the contrast. Are there any other questions or any other ideas to share?
No, thank you.
Thank you so much for sending these, safety glasses. I'm sure that $10,000 box will show up one day, but until then, keep enjoying these safety glasses because you can just use them again and again and again. And I would really say try as much as you can to use the restickable squares, the mounting tapes first, and then play a little bit with, like I said, the magic tape as well. It is a little hard to get the magic tape off. I'm still on the mission, if anyone knows. I had one pair of glasses, almost like the safety glasses, that had a clear, it's almost a friction cover. And it just came right off and you could put it right back on. So that would be ideal because then you can have that on top of the safety glasses and then put your tape on top of that. So to be continued, I'm on the lookout for that. I can't remember, I had a pair of glasses that had that. It was a pair of sunglasses for my husband. They had one little part that had that would go off and on. I was like, okay, I got to see what this is called and where I can find it. But until then, just use all the materials that you have. Just don't use glue, like I said, or glue sticks.
Oh.
And then label them if you'd like to as well. You can label the eye condition. You can put the student's initials or name. If it's for the eye condition of a student, I put the student's initials in the classroom and I email the teachers and let them know the glasses are there for them to try when they come in. And I just couldn't believe it. I just had 3 service providers on the same day come in going, oh, I get it. Okay. It really did help them to adapt how they were presenting things to him. And you will be sent a handout. It's a 2-page document and it just has some of the do's and don'ts, the 3 sites that I showed you, but keep, looking for more sites and the materials that you have in your box, but even a few more that you can get for adhesives and things to attach. And then maybe take some pictures and then we can do like a collage one day of some of the pictures that people send in.
Yeah, that would be great if you guys could take pictures of you guys using it or using it with family members or parents or kids. Would be great. Roz, sorry.
No, Mel always wants pictures for our newsletter. So these would be great.
Yes. I will say when I had a class, I did so many awareness lessons in 1 year. You know how you make the kids make like a headband and put a feather in it or something for one of their art activities? Well, we did the same thing, but we put it's a piece of paper. So I actually had 2 pieces of brown paper that I taped together, and then I wrapped it around the head of the student to get the size right. And then they would color it and put like some of them would make eyeballs too, but that would be instead of a blindfold. But they could have a hole punched out too for tunnel vision or things like that. So if you didn't have glasses at all, we used that. And then when we had our awareness lessons, they would get out their own blindfold that they made out of paper. And that was really good. I have some pictures of those, so I can send those to you as an example.
That's a great idea.
And because we're always on a budget, so we just use what we have, but that's like not even a penny, I think. It's like free Braille paper.
Great idea.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Amy. That was fantastic.
Thank you.
Hey, so good to see you all. And even when I couldn't see you very clearly. But have fun and we'll keep sharing ideas. It's so great to collaborate and to keep learning, till we're 93 and a half, we'll keep learning.
Well, hopefully longer than 93 and a half.
Okay, 103.
Yeah.
There's an evaluation link in the chat. If you could please just click on it before you leave today's meeting so that you can complete that.
All right.
I can also email it to everyone with the handouts as well.
And I'm gonna be mailing something to everybody for you to answer questions for a newsletter article about you liaisons that I'm gonna be putting together. So look for that. It will be coming out next week.
Thank
But-
you.
Jennifer typed in the chat, my sincere and humble apologies, everyone. I lost internet at my house and cell data. I jumped in the car and relocated, and I'm now sitting outside an office stealing Wi-Fi, but I'm completely frozen here. So sorry.
No.
Sorry you couldn't join us, Jen, but thank you for jumping on.
Mhm.
Thank you
Thanks
so much,
Jen,
everyone.
everybody. See
Bye.
you soon.
You. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Click on that eval link, please.
Yeah, please do the eval.
I'll do the eval too.
I don't know how
Thank
to.
you. Thank you so much, Amy. Yes, Olive, thank you.
So
Olive.
good.
Olive. Thank you, Olive.
Olive. Everybody take care. Casala, Hattie. You're frozen. Say hi.